Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rockers to Doctors. I'm Nova Starwick, and my co host Dorian Prescott is currently out of the office, which means, tragically for all of you, I've been left unsupervised. So, for this week's episode, I decided to talk about the cinematic achievement, the cultural artifact, the deeply confusing made for TV event known as Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, which originally aired in October of 1978. I didn't see it when it aired, mostly because, well, I was a child and because my parents loved me. But this Halloween, I finally watched it. And here's the twist for today's episode. You're not just getting my analysis, you're also getting me watching this movie. So throughout this episode, I'm going to drop in live reaction montages from my first ever viewing. No filter, no hindsight, just real-time confusion, delight, and the slow realization that this movie is fully committed to whatever it thinks it is. So before we go any further, you also need to understand something about me. I love bad movies. I was raised on USA Up All Night with Rhonda Shear and Gilbert Gottfried. I would pretend to be asleep, stuff a blanket under my door to block the TV glow, and stay up watching all of those movies. So if you remember those movie nights, you already understand why this film may have spoken to me immediately. So consider this my mini rock and roll, legally distinct version of Up All Night with fewer commercials. Let's start with the setting. Based on the title, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, I genuinely thought Kiss would be Scooby-Dooing their way through Central Park. They were not. Instead, we open at Magic Mountain with a group of teenagers having a great time on a roller coaster. No kiss yet, just vibes. And our two main characters, Melissa and Sam, plus some extremely forgettable friends who exist solely to be endangered later. Melissa is our heroine, and Sam is her boyfriend. He works at the park as an assistant to our villain, Abner Devereaux, who runs an animatronics lab underneath the park. We're already off to a very strong start. But before we go any further, I need to take you with me for a moment because this movie does not ease you in. It throws you directly into the park chaos. And here is what watching the opening actually feels like. So, Kiss is in concert at the park, and they're going to be there for 3 nights. So that is the reason Kiss is in the park. All right, so now they're showing some shots of all the rides. These look fun. They're like little barrels whipping around like the teacups at Disney. No, someone's getting sick. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. And the controls are broke. He can't slow it down. It's going too fast. Is something gonna... Ooh, the little alarm's going off. Uh-oh. Oh, no. This seems to have a very Scooby-Doo vibe. There was this man just kind of looking suspiciously as that was going down. Oh, they're trying to do a little pyramid, and the security cop has come up telling them to stop. They didn't listen. Oh, all the little children have makeup. They're looking like Kiss. The Kiss Army. The Kiss Army is all there. Yeah, Canyon. So there's a marching band. Canyon. Interesting. Look at those uniforms or those dresses. All right. So we've got our guy and our girl, the couple. They're still on the roller coaster. That is one long roller coaster ride, I have to say. Oh, they're off now. They're off. There's Kiss balloons. People are very excited for Kiss to be here. Oh, all right. So the guy from our couple, he's got to go to work, and he just kissed his girlfriend. Now he's running off. Big cutout of Kiss on a fence. Oh, and some jerk just walked up and knocked down the pyramid. And they said, and the walls come tumbling down. Ooh, punks. Oh, being all tough with the manager. They're like, who are you, old man? Well, he's the man in a suit. Obviously, he's important. Oh, he's the man that built the park. Got it. All right. The security is assigned to those guys that were just picking on the creator of the park. Oh, the creator of the park is not happy that Kiss is at the park. That's Abner. Abner is not happy. He designed the park and it is not designed for Kiss. No. So angry. All right, so they have a monorail. It's called Magic Mountain. I really wonder where this park is. His inventions. So he calls everything in the park his invention. That sounds a little ominous, I think. All right, and there's more kids with kiss makeup. Oh, he's not getting his money to be creative. Oh no, he's on the threshold of a major breakthrough. It's his dream. It's going to astound the world. This will definitely not end badly. I definitely don't think that Kiss is going to have to fight his animatronic creations or that they'll come to life. And that's the tone. If you're wondering whether this movie knows exactly what it's doing at this point, the answer is yes. And also, no. Now, let's talk about those animatronics. They are incredibly lifelike, by which I mean they look exactly like human actors standing very still and pretending to be robots. Instead of advanced animatronics like Chuck E. Cheese, the film went with local theater kid holding a pose, which it turns out is not a budget choice. It's foreshadowing. So Sam has to go to work because capitalism waits for no one, and he and Melissa agree to meet later. And then later arrives, and Sam does not. Melissa starts looking for him, and we finally meet Abner Devereaux and park owner Calvin Richards strolling through the park and discussing the upcoming Kiss concert. Calvin is blunt. The park needs money. The animatronics are expensive, and yesterday's news. Abner does not receive this information well. He spots three teenagers messing with his creations while they're walking, and he takes it as a personal attack on his soul. You can practically hear the villain origin story loading. Abner storms back to his underground lab, visibly spiraling. Melissa is still searching for Sam and somehow wanders straight into this highly secured facility, which tells you everything you need to know about the security budget for the park. The lab is peak 1970 sci fi. Silver walls, flashing lights, giant computers, random robot parts everywhere, or animatronic parts. Very science, very future adjacent. Abner appears, demands to know why Melissa's there, and denies knowing where Sam is. So Melissa leaves, and the camera does not. Because Sam rises out of a tube elevator like a deeply confused department store mannequin. His voice is wrong, his movements are stiff, and on the back of his neck is some type of control device. Sam has been mind controlled. And there's still no kiss. Abner, now fully unhinged, sets traps for those three punks who disrespected his animatronics. So the punks enter the House of Thrills, but they don't exit. Instead, they're captured and turned into animatronics. Twist reveal. The animatronics were people the whole time. Remember that foreshadowing? That's why they look so realistic. Diabolical, efficient, union hostile. So Melissa keeps searching for Sam while Calvin confronts Abner about guest safety and general villain behaviors. And that meeting goes poorly, and Abner is fired. Abner loses what remains of his grip on reality, which wasn't very much. He vows revenge on Calvin, the park, and Kiss, who have not appeared on screen yet, but are somehow responsible for everything wrong in his life. Sir, please log off. Night has finally come, and the Kiss concert begins. And honestly, it rules. Pyrotechnics, costumes, crowd shots, and the reveal that Kiss has actual superpowers. Paul Stanley projects force fields, Gene Simmons spits fire like Godzilla, Ace Frehley shoots electricity, and Peter Criss is very strong. And my grammar check keeps wanting me to change this to Peter Criss is very firm. How scandalous. So, quick production sidebar, the band hated this movie. Despite positive reviews from friends at early screenings, Kiss reportedly despised how they were portrayed and forbade anyone around them from mentioning it for years, which somehow makes the movie even better for me. Now, back to the plot. After the concert, Paul Stanley senses Melissa's presence. Yes, senses. They speak to her in a calm, mystical, extremely stiff way and assure her they will help her find Sam. From this point on, Kiss maintains the same energy like benevolent rock and roll deities who learned English phonetically. And Abner escalates. He releases a robotic Gene Simmons to terrorize the park. The real Gene is questioned the next day and then officially cleared, and the park apologizes. Abner learns that Kiss's powers come from talismans. He sends mind controlled Sam to steal them, and he succeeds. This is where the movie stops pretending it's grounded in any recognizable reality. And here is what the talisman sequence actually looks like when you're watching it unfold. All right, we're back in the lab. There are animatronic android body pieces everywhere. All right, Abner is ordering Sam to bring him the talisman, and he's giving him a laser device. And this is a different laser than the one coming out of Paul's eye. This one is blue and it's wavy. Oh, there's a serpent! So on stage, they have a serpent with them. Maybe not a surprise to any of you that have gone to see Kiss. You've probably seen the serpent, but I did not get to see Kiss back at this point, so I did not see the serpent. Yeah. I wonder if this was played more than once, or if it only aired on TV just that one time. All right, Sam is back. He has the talisman. So there's a demon, a lightning bolt, a star, and a cat. All right. He's looking at them. They'd actually be really cool pins. I would like one of those. I think he's going to use the laser on it to turn them off. Yeah, he's using the laser on them. It's making a nice laser noise, 70s laser noise. Abner is using some liquid air, it looks like, on some of his animatronics. All right, so I'm not sure what's going on now. We have just a wide shot of the park. It looks empty. Maybe the concert's over. Not really sure. So so the guards in the security office are talking about demons and monsters. Oh no, somebody gassed the guards. They're in their guard station and somebody gassed them, and Revolutionary War soldiers have now walked in, and it looks like they're dragging off the guards. So these revolutionary soldiers are clearly either former park guests or former park workers. So they've got to be the faux androids. So whatever Abner did to scramble their brains, that is what is going on now. All right. All right. So now Kiss is looking for Sam and the talisman. So they are very suspicious now. Nobody else is in the park. They are alone, and now they are exploring the park. And they are very suspicious of Abner, as they should be. All right. Kiss is all convening on the merry-go-round. Oh, okay. Because Gene is a demon. That's why he has a different voice than everybody else. This is the moment where the movie crosses a line. Not into absurdity, into commitment. And from here on out, everyone is all in. And now, Kiss becomes the target. Kiss is neutralized with a ray gun, imprisoned underground, and replaced with animatronic duplicates meant to ruin the next concert and incite a riot. Which feels a bit extreme, but we're way past subtlety now. Back to the movie. Kiss escapes Abner's lab. They recover their talismans. They regain their powers. And they fight. At this point, the movie has one job left. Lean in hard. And this is what that looks like. Montage of the park. Montage of the park. Kiss just said pussy. All right, they are looking for Abner. So no one else is in the park. It's dark. They apparently didn't go back to wherever they were staying in that weird orgy den. They are just wandering randomly around the park with nobody taking any account for them. But they're Kiss, why not? Oh no, these creepy rejects from Cats are now coming for them. Android cats. Well, people-sized. So it looks maybe like there are people dressed up as cats without tails that are coming for Kiss. Well, they better watch out because Kiss can shoot lasers out of their eyes and their fingers, and Jean can breathe fire, and that would be a bad thing for these cats without tails. Their outfits are very silver and very snug. Oh, correction. Um, Peter mentioned that they are probably apes and not cats. I was mistaken, and Peter would definitely know an ape over a cat. All right, Kiss is gonna fight. Look at that roundhouse. Yeah. Their little faces do look more cat-like than ape, but I guess I can go with ape. All right. So now they're fighting these ape things, and Back in the New York Groove is playing. Yeah. So they can fight. Ace just has like sparks coming out. No, it's not out of his leg. He just kicked it and it started to explode. So these things are probably really animatronic rather than the faux androids. Oh, fire, yeah. Do it, Gene. Suplex. Yeah, yeah. Take him down. Nice move, Ace. Oh, look at Paul vamping for the camera. All right, this is fun. Not. Oh, Paul just used his lasers, so he can use his lasers not only to heal, but to do damage. They took him down. I like Ace's sparkling leotard, those little rhinestones on it. I never noticed that before. That's a nice touch. So Jean in this form as the demon must be like a bloodhound because the other boys, they gave him this head and he kind of looked at it and he was like, Devereaux. And then he started leading them to, I guess, toward where Devereaux is. And Devereaux looked a little worried. All right, we got more Kiss music here. Nice. All right, so now Kiss is getting into another fight. Apparently, there are audio waves that they're fighting against. Woo! Is that a lightsaber? No. No, it was a sword, but okay, so these guys that they're fighting, they're dressed up like karate guys, and they were just holding the hilt, and then all of a sudden it would shoot up like a lightsaber, but then it would just show up and transform just that it was a regular sword. Oh, yeah, look at them fight. Nice roundhouse kick. All right, so the real Gene actually seems to be made of iron as well because people are punching him and nothing is getting through. Nice. Kiss is clearly way better at fighting than all these other people. I wonder how much of this Kiss did and how much was stand-ins because if you look at some of the body hair on some of these guys, like that was a lot of work they'd have to do for a stand-in for a stunt person. And that's the payoff. No irony, no apology, just Kiss, fully powered, punching their way through a theme park like rock and roll demigods. Which brings us to the end. After the show, Kiss and Melissa return to the lab to save Sam. They find Abner frozen in a catatonic state, trapped inside his own mind. Paul removes the device from Sam's neck. Sam is free! Yay, Sam! And Calvin Richards delivers the final line. He created Kiss to defeat Kiss, and in the end, it destroyed him. Which is either a moral lesson or an apology for everything we just watched. Possibly both. Overall, I enjoyed this movie, but I've already established that my bar is low and my taste might be a little suspect. If you get the chance, I recommend checking it out, preferably with a tasty beverage or another enhancement of your choosing. It's strange, it's sincere, and it absolutely exists. If you enjoyed this episode, and by enjoyed, I mean you either learned something, laughed at least once, or questioned several creative decisions made in 1978, you can find us at Rockers to Doctors on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TikTok, and Instagram. We're the show where rock history meets academic overthinking, where data, context, and distortion pedals live together in uneasy harmony, where we take things seriously, but never ourselves. If you like deep dives into strange rock artifacts, misunderstood moments, and the occasional, why did this exist spiral, you're in the right place. Follow, subscribe, flirt quietly, all are valid. And if you're listening to this, remember this important lesson from Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Unchecked resentment, unchecked genius, and underground laboratories never end well. Headbanging with a hypothesis.